Alright, Xeodrifter. So what you do in this game is you start off with your ship getting seriously damaged while you're flying through space. You're able to locate several strong energy signals on nearby planets which you believe will be parts to repair your ship. You start off with the choice to visit all 4 of these planets, but you can only progress on one of them. This game presents itself with a focus on exploration, but it turns out there's only one true path to finishing the game. Once you get a new ability, there is only one place to go to get the next ability. You find a bunch of relics or something and you go to this one spot where you can now go to the final boss. Not because the items do anything, but because you have the final ability which lets you enter this area. Defeating the final boss gets you a replacement warp drive so you can take your ship out of here. We aren't told who you are or why you're flying around in a spaceship in the first place. That's all there is to the story. Alright, so here's what I like about the game. You can customize your weapon fire. So you get these little weapon power-ups, and you can assign them to these different categories. Now the most you can get are, as you can see here, is 12. That means you can only power up, say, 2 of these all the way. Or you can mix and match them, you know? So let's see, what do they all do? So before you get any power-ups, this is what your shot looks like. Let's see. If you power up this one, it increases the bullet speed. If you power up this one, it increases the size of the bullets. I believe it also makes them stronger, I'm not entirely sure. This one lets you fire more bullets rapidly. So note the first power-up changes the speed, but this one changes the rate at which you fire. This one creates a pattern, a shooting pattern. So it doesn't shoot 3 at a time, it shoots in a 3 pattern. So for me, I didn't really find this one very useful at all, because it just doesn't come out enough. Let's see if we increase the rate. Okay, that might be useful, but I think there's better uses for your slots than that. And then the final one, of course, is like a wave pattern. As you go through the game, there are power-ups to be found, like these weapon power-ups, and then also your health bar. It only starts with 3 hits, but as you can see, it extends up to that much when you get max. There's only one... Here's something I didn't like, is that there's only one boss, per se, in the entire game. You fight the same boss enemy multiple times. I mean, he gets stronger and he does different moves, but visually looking, it's the same guy, and you are seeing some of the same moves over and over again. So that's not exactly very good. But every time you beat him, you get a new ability. So like the first one, as you can see on the right side of the screen, the first one is a sub ability. You press down and B. Like, at first, when you get to water, you can't go in it. But then you get the sub ability and you can do that. So yeah. Let me downgrade myself a little bit. Another thing you get is, oh, Y. That's the warp ability. See, if you can see the background, there's nothing there. But like, say here in the background, you can warp there. The third one is the run ability. It's left to right and B. So let me get out of the water here. So it lets you go really fast, which is necessary for, it lets you run like over lava and stuff like that. It's also good for speedruns, I guess. Oh yeah, so you can save different presets for your weapon, so that's cool. Another thing I don't like is the controls are kind of slippery. Like, as you can see how long it takes me to turn around. And then the jumps. It's really kind of floaty, so it's like both slippery and floaty. And that makes platforming in this game kind of frustrating at times, because it's hard to get something just right. And the length of your jump, so like this is a full jump, and this is a short jump, there's like no difference. In fact, I'm not seeing any difference at all. I thought there was like a small difference. I don't see any difference at all. Wow. So yeah, you can't change the height of your jump. That sucks. I already touched on the false non-linearity of this game. When you first get into the game, it looks like, you know, you got 4 different worlds to explore. Let's see what's on each of them. Well, early on you get into a dead end basically on all of them except one. So that kind of sucks. You're kind of like wasting your time just figuring out, okay, which one of these is not a dead end. Oh, you can only save your game at your ship. And you cannot, like, instantly warp back to your ship from anywhere. Say you're in one of these really long corridors. Think of if you're playing a Metroidvania and you could only save at your ship. That would be ridiculous, because you get into these long paths and it's going to take you like 5, maybe 10 minutes sometimes to find your way back to your ship, and along the way you could easily die, and then you have to redo a whole lot of sections. There are checkpoints before and after every boss. So if you die somewhere, if you die on the boss, you'll be right in front of the boss. If you die after the boss trying to get back to your ship, then you start back right after you beat the boss. It's just a little frustrating, like, if you're just trying to get back to your ship so you can save, then that could be a real problem, because you basically have to play the game a lot longer than maybe you wanted to in order to just save, because you can only save in your ship. Right here, this is the only place you can save your game. I also felt like knockback was pretty harsh. That's some pretty far knockback, if you ask me. I don't like the way this game feels so much. So, there's a lot of things I would fix in this game if I were in charge of that. Overall, I still liked playing the game in the end. I know I said a bunch of like negative things about the game, but that's really just like critiques of things that I would want different in this game. It doesn't make the game unplayable or horrendous. I think there is still fun to be had in this game, and I do recommend this game. But just like Mutant Mudds Deluxe, I'd wait for it to go on sale. Also keep in mind that there is an achievement in this game for beating it in less than an hour. And this file, I did it in less than an hour. It was very easy for me to do with just some directions. So yeah, it's a pretty short game. And that's all of my notes on this game. So if you think you're interested, you know, you can check it out. Again, I personally would recommend you wait to get it on sale, but that's up to you. And thanks for watching.